All right, let's get right into it. Today, I want to talk about a massive, kind of hidden problem that quietly sucks the life out of almost every service business out there. We're going to look at it through the lens of wedding venues, which is a pretty high-stakes world, but trust me, you're going to see how this applies pretty much everywhere.
So, just for a second, picture a wedding. You've got all these moving parts, all this emotion. What do you think is the single most predictable, most reliable thing that happens during the planning process?
It's not the vows, it's not the first dance, nope, not even the cake. The most predictable part of any wedding is the list of questions the couple is going to ask the venue.
And here's the thing that's just wild. It doesn't matter if it's a huge $100,000 wedding or a cozy $10,000 one. The same core group of about 20 questions pops up every single time. What time can we get in? What's the rain plan? Can my DJ set up early? They come in through email, text messages, late-night voice notes, over and over and over again.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Look, the clients aren't trying to be difficult. They're excited, they're anxious, and they just need to feel certain about things. The real problem isn't their questions. The problem is that most businesses are designed to answer them reactively, one by one, every single time. It's a failure of the system, not the people.
So you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a few questions here and there, right? Well, that little trickle of questions, it very quickly turns into a massive operational flood.
On its own, it feels totally harmless. You know, an email comes in, you tap out a quick reply, 2 to 5 minutes, tops. Done. It even feels kind of productive, but let me tell you, it's a trap. Because that 2 to 5 minutes, well, you multiply that by 20 questions, and you spread it across dozens of clients every year with multiple staff members answering, and it just explodes. All of a sudden, you are losing dozens, maybe even hundreds of productive hours every single month just saying the same things you said last week.
And this kicks off a really negative domino effect inside the business. See, every single question is an interruption. It shatters your team's focus. This leads to a totally broken workflow where nobody can get into that deep, meaningful work. Over time, that creates some serious admin fatigue. And maybe worst of all, you start getting inconsistent answers when different people on the team give slightly different information.
But the damage actually goes way deeper than just lost time. That inconsistent messaging, that can lead to actual disputes down the line. Your staff gets burnt out and frustrated, and maybe the most damaging cost of all, while your team is busy answering the same old questions for your current clients, your response time to brand new, valuable leads gets slower and slower and slower.
Now, to be fair, most businesses have tried to fix this. They know it's a problem, but the solutions they usually reach for are, well, they're fundamentally flawed. Let's dig into why they just don't work. We've all seen this, right? The giant venue info pack PDF, or that one super long email with a million bullet points. The hope is that you send it out once and poof, all questions are solved forever. But what's the reality? The client loses the attachment, or they skim it and forget all the details, or they just don't read it at all. And what happens? They end up asking you the exact same questions anyway.
And here's the core reason why that fails. A PDF is a passive, static thing. You kind of just launch it out into the void and hope for the best. But clients, especially when they're anxious, they just don't work that way. They need information that's dynamic, that's easy to find, and that's accessible the exact moment a question pops into their head.
So this brings us to the real solution, and it requires a pretty fundamental shift in how you think. You have to stop being a reactive question answerer and start building a proactive system that answers questions before your clients even think to ask them. And that system is what we call a digital hub. Just think of it like a private, dedicated online space just for your client. The magic words here are centralized, so everything is in one spot, structured, so it's super easy to navigate, and always accessible on their phone anytime they need it. No digging through old emails.
So, what's inside this hub? Basically, everything. All 20 of those nagging questions, and then some. You've got detailed timelines, payment terms, the rules about decorations, specific instructions for suppliers, maps for parking. Every single detail is documented and organized in one place. You answer it once, you answer it right, and it's there for everyone.
And the impact of this? It's profound. When information is this easy to find, client behavior actually changes. They stop pinging you for every little thing, and they learn to check the hub first. And the result is that about 80%, 80, of those repetitive, time-sucking questions just vanish. You're only left with the truly unique,
Important stuff. So what does this new reality actually feel like? Let's talk about the payoff, because it's this incredible combination of calm for your team and total confidence for your clients. Operationally, the wins are just massive. Your staff immediately gets hours of their week back. Your communication becomes perfectly consistent because there's one single source of truth. That means fewer misunderstandings, calmer event coordination, and, like we talked about, your team now has the bandwidth to jump on new business leads instantly.
But I think the biggest shift of all is in perception. Just compare these two statements. The reactive way is, just message us if you need anything. It sounds helpful, but it actually puts all the work on the client and kind of signals that your info's all over the place. The proactive way says, everything you need is in your private event hub. The difference in perceived professionalism is just night and day.
And this is really the key takeaway for the client experience. Being proactive feels premium. It makes your business feel organized, buttoned up, and just confident. It tells the client, hey, we're in control and we've already thought of everything, which is exactly the feeling they're paying for. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. We used wedding venues as our big example today, but this problem is absolutely everywhere. So think about it. What are the predictable, repetitive 20 questions that are constantly interrupting your flow and slowing down your world? And more importantly, what system could you build to answer them before they're ever asked?